I want to bring up the WFLA JB Facebook page. I do not want to alienate the people there. I know we have a lot of folks joining us on my Facebook page, so I'm going to load up those comments here as well. Saying hi there to Deanna, Roxy, Lal, Yo, Amber Lee, Martin, Dixon. If you're on the WFLA JB Facebook page, hello there to you. Welcome. We're streaming in a lot of different places. So, oh my goodness. Someone far away wants to know, #HJB, any comments from former passengers? Oh yeah, all over the place. Every one of them has been approached for an interview. If you've been on Ocean Gate, even a sub other than the Titan, because they have 3 submersibles, as I understand it. So the Titan is the most well-known one because it goes down to the Titan, goes down to the Titanic. However, they have others capable of different underwater exploration. And yeah, a lot of them have been interviewed. David Pogue is one who's been frequently doing media appearances because he went on it and did a story on it. Jamie Madden, #HJB. Some reports are still saying there is 46 minutes of oxygen left, not that it ran out earlier. Let me explain why this might be. We're talking about different time zones here. Technically, the Titanic wreckage is in a different time zone than us here in the eastern United States. It is an hour ahead. I did math, and I confirmed it with tools online. When they said 40 to 41 hours at the Tuesday press conference, that brought us to 5 to 6 a.m. Eastern time on Thursday, June 22nd. I'll just confirm. Yeah, no, my math is right. My math is right. Is there a time zone discrepancy? If we are looking for any hope, sure, there's a chance of there being a time zone mix-up. Just because the clock hits 6 a.m., and even if it hits 7 a.m., that doesn't mean that hope is completely run out. But we are getting to a very desperate several hours. Cozy Beats, #KJB. Is there any chance after 2 a.m. that the passengers are alive? Well, I'm not sure the meaning of 2 a.m. I don't know what the significance there is. And are you talking about, also, Cozy, I don't know where you're joining us from. I don't know what time zone you're in. I read that as 2 a.m. Eastern. And 2 a.m. Eastern was 4.5 hours ago. So, and also 2 a.m. So are you talking about 2 a.m. Eastern tomorrow? Because at that point, we're, I don't want to say there's no hope at that point, but you're as close to no hope as possible. Amanda Ray, other sources are saying 12 p.m. UK time. That's 7 a.m. here on the East Coast. That's not the math that I have. 41 hours from Tuesday, 1 p.m. Eastern brings us to 6 a.m. Eastern time. So that I'm confident in my math. I want to be wrong. Please let me be wrong. That would be great. But and maybe I missed it. Was there a footnote, a follow-up on one of the questions about whether or not that was Eastern time or the time zone that the Titanic wreckage is in, where the search crews are? Look, if we want to call it 7 a.m., we can call it 7 a.m. Fine by me. But my math is solid. 41 hours from the U.S. Coast Guard press conference, Tuesday, 1 o'clock, is 6 a.m. Welcome into the stream center. The time is now 6:27 a.m. JB Buno here with you live. We plan on having guests. It was difficult to find guests this hour of the morning, but I didn't want to leave you guys hanging. Some people have found our live streams to be a form of comfort. Gives them a sense of community, a place to go where they don't feel like, if you watch the news these days, look, if you watch the news these days, you're not going to hear much from people out there interactively. What we do on stream, of course, is feature you. It's very important to us that your voice is heard on these live streams. So this is a place where your voice matters. I want to make that clear. Why we do interactive live streaming. I believe it's the future. I believe you can't ignore a comment section. Why would you? If you do the news and you have comments coming in and people have devices in their hand where they can interact with you, why would you ignore your audience? Why do news stations do that? Here, technology has evolved to a point where you can be part of our coverage. Your questions sometimes are excellent. Some of my favorite streams that we've ever done are when somebody will ask a question that I didn't think of. Sometimes it can be a dumb question that is super smart. Sometimes it's a smart question that can be mind-blowingly intelligent. A question that makes you go, wow, I didn't think about it that way. That is the best part about what we do here. But also, too, being able to give everybody a place, a destination, if you will, a place to come and feel like you're included. Our YouTube moderators will tell you it's very much a team effort here. I joke it takes teamwork to make the stream work. And I hope that wherever you're watching from right now, I hope that we're able to provide at least a shred of comfort, some comfort to you, because we know that this is a very difficult morning, especially for those involved with this search, and especially to those who know one of the or multiple of the 5-person crew. Yeah, so, there it is. Samantha Alice Morris, #KJB, marinetraffic.com. You can see the search vessels. You know, I had that up this morning. I want to refresh. I had it up, and I was getting old data. So I'm trying to refresh here, and let's see if we can bring up the map and show some of the vessels at the Titanic site. Marinetraffic.com, of course, throwing ads right over the Titanic wreckage site. Maybe, perhaps, I can get that out of the way. You're not alone, folks. I get the ads too. I'm trying to find. Okay, what vessel is this? I'll say it both ways. Adelante. They're all right there. All right, let's we get 2 buttons. One button. Oh, there it is. Just one button. This is my computer screen. Full credit to marinetraffic.com. Here's the. I wasn't kidding when I said there's a lot of ads. So this is the Titanic wreckage site. You guys can see my mouse right here. And some of the craft, some of the vessels are not going to be labeled, but this one is. Scroll all the way and go there. You can see RMS Titanic. That is directly over the wreckage site. 1, 2, 3 vessels. Here is the Polar Prince, about a mile away, but within roughly a square mile or two of the Titanic wreckage site. Here is the Atalante. They are on site. Not no information here, no information there. And then this is said to be a fishing vessel, but likely, well, I don't know, could be involved in the search. Now, the Horizon Arctic, where is it? Another precious vehicle that could provide assistance. I see. This is what I'm talking about. I think that they are much closer because I had it up earlier. Here's the Terry Fox, the Anne Harvey. Here it is, the Horizon Arctic, but it says position received 18 hours 10 minutes ago. So I don't know if I have old data. There are folks in our comment section that have been, meticulously going through marinetraffic.com and other marine traffic websites. Maybe somebody out there provide me with some feedback as to whether or not they are also receiving the same data that the last ping on the Horizon Arctic was 18 hours. That can't be right because we were on stream like 12 hours ago looking at the Arctic, and it was pinging every few minutes, if I remember correctly. At least I thought. Could be wrong. But we were looking at the Arctic on marinetraffic.com yesterday. So not entirely sure what that's all about. But it's been assumed that the Horizon Arctic would be arriving this morning. They were scheduled to arrive there this morning. And you know what? Has there been any Twitter reports of the Horizon Arctic making it? Because if marinetraffic.com is not receiving a ping from it. Oh yeah, so I'm sorry. Let me bring this up. I was launching my stream about an hour ago when this tweet came in. Oh man, why is it like messed up? I don't know why it's cut off there at the top, but I'll read it. From U.S. Coast Guard Northeast on Twitter. Anne Harvey and motor vessel Horizon Arctic with the ROV on board have arrived on scene and are conducting search patterns in search of the submersible Titan. #Titanic. So yes, not only has it been confirmed on Twitter, it's been confirmed by the U.S. Coast Guard that the Horizon Arctic is there. So marinetraffic.com is just not receiving a ping on it, or I have a cookie problem and not the cookie that you eat. Good morning, Facebook Live. Good morning, YouTube Live. I know there are people that are waking up right now and finding this live stream. I know because our audience has doubled. And it is because, of course, we are awaiting any updates. My promise to you is this. If we get any updates, press conferences, tweets, announcements, anything significant, my team in the newsroom, even if I miss it, not only do I have an army of viewers and moderators that help me, that's what interactive journalism is all about. Nobody can scan every corner of the internet at once. I'm here in the stream center. I think I have somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 screens in here. I mean, as far as the ones directly around me, I know I have 8. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 here. I could have 100 screens in front of me. No one can monitor every section of the internet, every report, every tweet, every piece of information that is available online. It's just not possible. But with you and interactively with moderators and people who help, look, that's what interactive streaming is all about. Community and people saying, hey, JB, have you seen this? What about this? And then on stream, we can discuss it, talk about its authenticity, talk about its meaning, its value to you as far as the news story that we are covering. But then also beyond that, 20 feet that way, we have our news staff that is working the story and waiting as well for updates. And if there's a significant breaking news development, they come in here, I mute microphones, and we get ready for breaking news coverage. So if there's anything breaking or anything developing this morning, you'll know about it here. Any press conferences, we will stream it live. You don't have to go anywhere. We're staying live for a considerable amount of time as we await any updates whatsoever on the situation with OceanGate and the situation for the search for the Titan sub. So let's go back to the comments. Steve says, #KJB, water will be just as critical as oxygen. And that is true. But there's a big difference between water and oxygen. If they ran out of water today, Steve, they can survive for days beyond that. If you run out of oxygen today, that's it. It's over. So if their water supply ran out even yesterday, they can make it for a couple more days. Food as well. You run out of food, you're able, with the rations that you have had on board, and there have been food rations confirmed by the U.S. Coast Guard food rations that were on board. Again, you can survive several days without food or water, 3+, depending on your, on your body. But oxygen, when it's out, game over. So I understand what you're saying. Water is precious. It's a resource. It's needed. So is food. So is just your health and sanity, physical health and your sanity, your mental capacity to press on, and also to minimize oxygen use. But nothing is more critical at this stage than oxygen. It is the number one most precious resource right now. Okay, back to, hold on, #HeyJB. That, of course, signals to us that you want your comment to be included on our stream. OPS, what is the coffee that you're drinking? When I came in this morning, the only thing that was open was Wawa. So I'm drinking Wawa coffee. Hope everyone has a beverage, some food. I hope you're taking care of yourself wherever you're watching from. Thinking of you guys. Vina with 2 questions. We don't really get 2 questions all that often in one comment. Can the sub be opened from inside? No. Externally only. And if the site of the sub is found, how much time will it take for the crew to get there? According to Mark Martin, who's a deep sea exploration expert and has hoisted things from the depths of the ocean, tells Jeff Patterson, tells News Channel 8, tells WFLA.com, that if they found it, it would be, let's say an ROV found it, a tethered ROV. Let's be optimistic. And what I mean by tethered, I mean that they have connection to the surface and a tethered connection that capable of hoisting. Let's say that that's the case. All of a sudden, the ROV is like, oh my God, there it is. They found it. And they're tethered. It would take approximately, according to Mark, 1 hour to hook up and 4 hours to get up to the surface. Now 4 hours, assuming their depth, a depth of 12 to 13,000 feet. What if they're not at that depth? I've been doing a little more homework on, there's several different, as I understand it, several different versions, several different mechanisms in place for the dead man switch, if you will, the last resort switch, where if power were to fail, the mechanism that would cause the Titan sub to float up to the surface. And I still don't fully understand, however, whether or not a partial failure is possible. So if they trigger that last resort switch and they float to the top, is it that does it work, doesn't work? Is it one of those two, or could it partially work and they establish something closer to neutral buoyancy, where they're just floating in place rather than sinking to the bottom, like inflation to the point where, or flotation to the point where you're not rapidly ascending, but you're not descending at the same time. That part to me I'm still fuzzy on. But there is a mechanism in place that should have been triggered that would carry the Titan to the surface. What happened there, we don't know. But this is why the search area at the surface is so massive. Because let me be clear, there is a scenario at play where they did float to the surface. They have no means of communication, and they are just a floating white tube in the ocean at the surface. That is why the aerial search is so significant. Because if they did have a very slow ascent due to that mechanism, that they would float to the top of the surface, float to the top, and let's say they made it, let's say it was overnight. It's dark out there. There's no light. Dark. It's pitch black. So if they float to the surface, let's just say, hypothetically for a moment, let's come back to that in a second. I see something here. If they float to the surface, they don't have a means of calling for help. We're assuming at this point their comms are completely down, and they can't open it from the outside, or from the inside. It has to be open from the outside. So they're just floating helplessly at the surface, at the mercy of the, as I understand it, they're still at the mercy of the air supply that they have. So I don't know if they floated to the surface, if they would have the ability to breathe air at the surface. That I'm also fuzzy on. I'm not entirely sure of. I want it to be clear. I did the math, okay? And 41 hours from 1 o'clock Eastern time on Tuesday, unless I made an error of some kind, 41 hours from, I'm going to do it again. 41 hours from Tuesday, 1 o'clock Eastern time, according to the U.S. Coast Guard, would be 6 a.m. Eastern. Our on-air team broadcast is reporting that they have another 15 minutes of air left. So hold on. Now I got to actually triple check my math. I double checked it, but now we're going to triple check it. Bear with me. My math, guys, am I losing my mind?